Midtown's very interesting because we've recently completed a Midtown study at the City of Cleveland about how to spur development in Midtown. Because once you see this Euclid Corridor project, and that's an enormous, complicated development along Euclid Avenue, but it connects the two largest economic hubs of the city. Downtown alone accounts for 65% of all the tax revenues for the city. And if you add in University Circle, you get 80% of all the tax revenues. But they're also geographically constrained. Downtown can only move one way. It can only move east. And University Circle is geographically constrained. It can only move one way, and that's west. So Midtown has got to be the place. It's got to be the place. So we've actually designed, believe it or not only the Nanotech Park, but a digital film studio, a technology learning lab, all within a 3-block area in Midtown. And hopefully we'll be announcing these things publicly very, very soon. These bullet points are a little dated, but we are now above the 400 square foot mark. I'm literally running out of Class A and Class B space in the downtown environment. We've created around, again, a little shade under 900 new jobs. We're up to $5 million in loan support for technology companies. And we've put out almost $300,000 of grant, free money for technology companies to move downtown to help get you started. I mentioned earlier this new symposium of Cleveland Municipal School, Cuyahoga County, City of Cleveland, getting together and creating that new workforce for the 21st century. Where coming out of 8th grade, you'll have an IC3 certification, and coming out of high school, you'll have at least 3 of these 8 to 10 certifications. So let's talk about the buzz. In fact, it's one of the best parts of my job is going around and speaking to people like yourself and spreading the gospel that things indeed can in fact happen in Cleveland. A few years ago, we started the Women in Technology event. It was the first type of event, the first event of its type in the state of Ohio. Our goal was 50 attendees. We ended up with 315 RSVPs, 225 attendees. And it really was a defining moment for women in technology in the city of Cleveland. The CEO Forum. If you're a CEO of a small company, our goal is to pair you up with a CEO of an old established company. And that's exactly what the CEO Forum does. We take the emerging growth CEO, we pair him together with the old economy CEO with one rule. You can't ask him for money, but you can ask him for anything else. Go fly fishing, Go see a game. Go walk through the park. I don't care, but get together and do something special. And as you see, the attendees are starting to grow in this particular forum. Midtown Brews, which is in partnership with iOpen, and we had a speaker from iOpen earlier today. Really, it's toasting technology. If you're a technologist and you want us to talk for 5 or 10 minutes, come in, have a few beers, talk a little shop, and enjoy the moment. Playhouse Square Party. Last year was the first year that we actually had a technology tent with the Playhouse Square Festival in downtown. We had 15 tech companies. Quick, interesting note, of the 32 companies we moved in, 15 have moved into Playhouse Square. So there's a unique environmental cluster, just this beautiful technology cluster beginning to develop in that square. Paradigm Magazine. Now, a lot of people know we're one of the few regions in the United States to have its own technology magazine. This is with a partnership with Great Lakes Publishing. We had 75,000 magazines circulated last fall. I should have brought some boxes. I have like 1,000 left at my office in City Hall and passed them out today. But we're included in Cleveland Magazine, Inside Business. Our next one will be in September of this year as a positioning tool for the next slide, which I'll show you in a few minutes. And we're actually considering distributing the magazine in a national basis, where we're going to look at Boston, New York, Chicago, Austin, Denver, and San Francisco, and put it into a poly bag with a Business 2.0 or a Fast Company magazine geared towards the Cleveland expats, those who were born and raised here but have left, and now we've got a great venue for them to come back, and that is, how the hell does Cleveland have its own tech magazine, and we don't? And so hopefully they'll connect the 2 dots and come home. One of my favorite events is the TechNote event, and this is where we're pairing up technology with musicians, and we just kind of get together and we jam a little bit. There's nothing better than a sense of community, especially in the technology industries, and this is a way to do it. And in fact, everyone's invited for the next one. It's on May 10th at Annie Up Studios on East 36th, where we'll actually be recording the jam sessions together and putting that up on the web. Defrag, which was launched in December of last year. This is bringing the digital community together in the Cleveland or Northeast Ohio environment. Last meeting was in Lorain. I think the next one's in Youngstown. It's a quarterly meeting. bringing together those who are involved in the digital trades in the Northeast Ohio, linking networking resources, and hopefully some funding as well. And finally, the Best Damn Tech Show period, which will be launching in November of this year, the 14th and 15th. And that is, we have to make a declarative statement for us to be taken seriously at the national level. So we're going to have a trade show. And we're going to invite those 2,800 tech companies to come join us for those 2 days. And if you join us, we're going to give you interviews with Cool Cleveland, with Cleveland.com, a lot of interesting technology layered on top of what we're trying to do here. And we're going to create a marketplace. So if you establish and you get the booth, we're going to bring in people who are looking for your services and technology skills in the marketplace. We do have a partnership with the Ingenuity Fest where we're going to co-market a little bit of these 2 shows. We were originally scheduled for July, but because of the technology we wanted to impart into the show, we had to wait another 6 months to make sure it was tested. But this really could be a definitive moment for the city of Cleveland in the technology trades. I will put up my contact information, and for a few of you in the audience who do know me, they'll assure you, I do return phone calls, I do email people back, and I try and meet as many people as I possibly can. It may take me a few days, but I do in fact get back to everybody. Just to kind of give you a scope of what I'm handling currently at the city, on my plate right now, I have $1.5 billion of technology development in the city of Cleveland. $1.5 billion. We're talking with 92 companies about moving into the city, and that's split between 75 and 25%. 75% locally, again, that black hole we've created, magnetized into the city of Cleveland, and 25% from outside the region. I mean, the word's getting out that you should take Cleveland seriously as your base of operations for technology. And I'll just throw off a little quick story. Thomann Medical, it's a Switzerland-based company looking for a new U.S. corporate headquarters. They're in medical dental devices. Chicago, New York, Boston, and Cleveland were the 4 cities that were considered. And historically, that's where we finish up the Quinella. We finish in 4th place, and we, do a little clap, hey, we tried. We actually scored this company. Beautifully designed space down at Idea Center, 50 new employees in, and they're so impressed by what they've seen in Cleveland, Ohio, that now the Swiss parent sends an executive over every year to live here in a 1-year rotation. It's a great story. So please call me, email me, be happy to meet, talk shop, and I'm not sure if there's time for questions or not, but if there are, I'll take a few questions from the audience. Softballs, hardballs, curveballs? Yes?
Hi. How much is sustainability being considered when planning all this tech wave?
The sustainability is a huge issue at City Hall right now, and in fact, with the abatements that are coming out for the housing side, sustainability, green, alternative fuels, I mean, they're all being considered to achieve the abatement. And certainly, if you look at Idea Center, that's a LEED certified facility. The Cleveland Technology Center be LEED certified. E-Tech Catry is not, only because it was already up and running. It was an old ticket stand that we just kind of used. The mayor's plan, if you read it, it's definitive. I mean, sustainability is a key component of what the city is trying to achieve, to the point where we actually have, I'm the tech czar, but we also have a sustainability czar, Andrew Watterson at the city. And Andrew and I are actually now working together to create economic development points of interest, one of which is alternative fuels. We've already brought in 1 alternative fuels company, and we're talking with 3 more to come into the city of Cleveland, which could be a nice little hub for alternative fuels. So, key issue. Any other thing?
For people that are local, how can we keep up to date on some of the changes that are taking place? Because I consider myself fairly plugged into the Cleveland technology scene, involved in a lot of business groups, and I saw you speak a couple years ago at Neuter, but since then I really haven't heard much pop up, and then come to this and see there's been a lot of stuff going on. So how can we kind of keep up to date on that so that we can be involved in this type of stuff?
Well, that's a good question. The local press only gives so much, unfortunately, in terms of promotion for the city. It's usually through grassroots, and that's the most effective way. I mean, I want you involved, so let's connect, and we'll find out the best way to get engaged and work together. That's why we did the magazine, because we thought the magazine would be the best way for us to push out that regional message to people. And obviously, it's still not connecting with the right people, but we're going to keep on trying. Rick? Yeah.
monthly newsletter?
Yeah, that's I've actually been asked to write, blogs and a weekly newsletter and things of that nature. There are days I don't even have time to breathe, much less write. It is an issue, and I know what I need to do. I also need to get better technology at the city because I'm simply using for my email blast a saved Outlook file that I then keep on copying over, and so that's. Let me just say, we've got all this on the plate in technology, and we never thought we'd get to this point in time. But I have a staff of 3, me, myself, and I, and it's only till recently that the budget was approved for me to get 2 more people. I could keep 5 to 7 full-time going, daily. It's really been that robust. The city understands that we have a severe problem in economic development in just terms of personal human capital to make these things happen. I'll also say this about City Hall. I love working there, but we're not very PR savvy from the top on down. And that was a change. The Campbell administration had something called the 668 report, or 601 report, meaning the address of City Hall. And that went out to 10,000 people every week about the mayor's new initiatives. We've stopped the 601 report. I've actually slowed down my emails a little bit. So that there's a process that we got to control. But if we have any great ideas, I'm always willing to listen and do it. I am actually buying software to do the email blast a little bit more effectively. And one of the components of that is an email component. Yes, sir.
Mike, to the point here, you do need to start a blog tonight. You've had so many good ideas, and that when the emails come, we get them in, and then we can or can't read them, and it would be helpful then if we go back to a blog and see the things that you were talking about, and then differentiate where we were going to participate and where we weren't. You need a blog tonight.
Thank you very much. I'll start working on that post-haste. Cleveland.com actually has agreed to do a technology blog, which I would be one of a number of writers, and that would be part of the Best Damn Technology Show, period. But it just, that won't be tonight, I'm afraid.
That's like the Pope being your birth control expert.
Well, no comment on that one, bro. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
Concerning, of course, you work for Cleveland and everything.
Yes.
But have you been working, or do you have contact with any other cities in the United States that have already either done design districts or they're basically in the planning stages? And do you have any comments or any suggestions for like other cities who might be, wanting to pursue the same method that you guys have seemed to have, come up with?
Well, we've only talked with cities in the state of Ohio, from a city like Warren, Ohio, which, as you know, Warren was heavily versed in the steel trades and the metal trades, and that town has been seriously gutted because of that. And there was some contemplation of doing a huge data farm in Warren, Ohio, because you've got the infrastructure of the fiber pipes coming along the railroads, and again, you got a lot of space. We've been working significantly with the city of Beechwood, believe it or not, in trying the 2 cities. There's a holy trinity of technology in Cuyahoga County, and that would be the city of Beechwood, the city of Cleveland, and Independence. And I've had a little problems getting Independence in line, but certainly the city of Beechwood, in fact, to the point where, I'll say this I'm so proud to say it, the city of Beechwood's actually subsidized the city of Cleveland's technology, economic development in a lot of ways, through our magazines, through our trade shows. So there's a city of a suburban site that I think woke up one day and said, all right, the city of Cleveland's got something going now, and they're moving in the right direction, and we need to help because it's better for the region. I wish every city was like that. Outside of that, we have actually gone to New York. We've gone to London to talk with a few of the technology leaders in those 2 cities. Anything of magnitude or something I could say is going to change the city of Cleveland? Yeah, not right now. But we're going to keep on trying. There's one right down here.
I was wondering, it's a little bit different than the other questions, but what is the city's plans as far as bringing in, I was noticing in the city record that there was an emergency ordinance put through to offer a 10-year contract for basically broadband wireless coverage for the entire city. Is the city also considering a municipal-owned network as opposed to corporate-owned?
Yes, the goal is that the city would have a municipal-owned wireless, and these are discussions